Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Kevin here, and in this video we're going to see the difference between Git and GitHub. If you like this kind of content, you can subscribe and press the notification button so you will be notified every time I upload a video about good practices in code, clean code, and any mobile development related. So no more to say, let's go straight to the video. So if you're new to development, you may have heard about Git and GitHub and you don't know what this is all about. So to start with this video, we need to know first what is Git. So Git is a versioning code system, right? It's a system for managing the versions of the code. So what is the code versioning? To explain this, let's do a little analogy. Let's say you have to write an essay for the university or the school, and you start writing it in Google Docs. You think you've finished it and you export it to PDF to deliver, naming it final essay. Then you realize that you have to change some things, so you go to the Google Docs again and you change what you need and export it to PDF with another name because you already have a file called final essay, so you put it final essay final. Then you realize that you have to change another thing and you go again to the Google Docs, you change and you export it to PDF with the name final essay final 2. Then after delivering to the professor sends it to you with the corrections and you have to correct, go to the Google Docs, make the changes to correct and export it as final essay final 3. So what we have here is the versioning of that essay. You have the first version, the second version with the changes that you can compare with the first, and you can do the same with the second and the third and the fourth, and you can also compare the first with the fourth and you can know what have changed along the time. For code it is exactly the same. It's a really good tool to know in each file of the code what have changed along all the code journey. To give you an example about why this is a good tool, let's say that you have to develop a website or an app and you have a login and then a main screen with 3 buttons, and every button have it is a new feature. So let's say that you have developed the login, you finished, and then you keep developing the first feature. At the middle of that first feature you realize that it is not so good, or it is not really valuable, or you want to resolve it another way. So what do you do to roll back all the changes? Maybe you have to do Ctrl-Z in all the code, or Command-Z. Maybe you have to do Ctrl-Z in all the files that you have changed, but it may be a lot of files. Also, you don't know when you finished the login. If you didn't close the file, you can do Ctrl-Z and go forward the changes and roll back some changes that belongs to login. So how do you do? This is where Git comes into scene and gives us a tool to add checkpoints to our code. When you finish login, for example, you can add a commit. That's a word for it is a term from Git, where you can put a message, for example, login finished, and that's a checkpoint in your code. Then you can keep developing the second feature, and then you realize that you don't want that anymore, so you can go back to the previous commit, go to the where you put login finished, and you can start again from there without any Ctrl-Z. Also, we can compare the changes between one commit and the other, the same that we did with the essays from the school. This is a good tool, for example, if you change something in the code and then you realize that some feature stopped working and previously it was working. So you can compare the files, the changes between one commit and the other, to know what have changed that destroyed the feature that you were doing and you added a bug. That's pretty common. So having this versioning is a pretty good tool. There are a lot of other examples where you can use these changes between commits to know things and roll back and all the things you want. So now we have to know what GitHub means in all this world. By now we have a tool to control the versions of our code, but we can do it all locally. All these tools are helpful for us when we are developing, for example, a local project for ourselves, and we can manage the versions of our code. But working alone is not the most common thing in the development world. In development, it's pretty common to work in teams, so there must be a way to share this Git versioning of the code with the team. And this is where GitHub comes to the world. GitHub is a web page that lets us, as teams, work together to share the same source code and manage all the versions of the code for different files. This is where terms like push come into scene, because after finishing a feature and mark it with a commit and with a checkpoint that is a commit with a message like login finished, you have to upload it to the web page, in this case GitHub, and the team will be able to first make a code review, that is reviewing the code that you have made. This is pretty common if you are a junior and, for example, there's a senior that reviews your code and tell you you can do this better or you have a bug here, for example. And then there must be a way to merge, that's another term from Git. You have to merge the code that you have made recently to the source code to keep it all going, because all the developers may be doing different things and they have to upload their changes and they have to accept to merge to the source code that is the app functioning. Here I must say that GitHub is not the only provider of the Git tool. There are other pages like Bitbucket or GitLab, you may have heard about them, that are exactly the same as GitHub, as a tool for sharing Git tool for teams. So no more to say about this. I hope you have enjoyed the video and understood everything, and if you didn't, please leave a comment, I will reply to you. And also you can give a like and subscribe, and if you want, leave a comment also to ask for new videos. That's all. Have a great day.